If you're looking for an awesome product at a great price, be sure to check out the link in the description. The Israel-Gaza conflict continues to escalate, marked by a series of deeply concerning events. Sunday witnessed a dramatic surge in tensions following Israeli National Security Minister Itamar Ben-Gvir's highly controversial visit to the Al-Aqsa Mosque compound in Jerusalem. This provocative act, involving prayers performed by Ben-Gvir and a reported 1,250 others, directly contravenes the decades-long status quo agreement that permits Jewish visits but prohibits prayer at the site, administered by a Jordanian religious foundation. The move immediately drew sharp international condemnation, with Saudi Arabia joining Jordan in strongly denouncing Ben-Gvir's actions as inflammatory and escalatory. The Saudi Foreign Ministry released a statement on X, unequivocally condemning the repeated provocative practices by Israeli authorities against the Al-Aqsa Mosque, emphasizing that such actions serve only to exacerbate regional conflict. Simultaneously, reports emerged of further devastating losses in Gaza. The Palestinian Ministry of Health reported a grim toll of 119 fatalities within the past 24 hours, including 15 bodies recovered from the rubble of Israeli airstrikes. This brings the total death toll since the conflict began on October 7 to a staggering 60,839, with a further 149,588 injured. The ministry also reported an equally heartbreaking statistic: 6 more deaths from famine and malnutrition, raising the total number of hunger-related fatalities in Gaza to 175, including 93 children. The humanitarian crisis continues to deepen, with the Palestine Red Crescent Society reporting the death of 1 staff member and injuries to 3 others in an Israeli attack on their Khan Yunis headquarters. Adding to the mounting despair, chilling video footage released by Hamas showed emaciated Israeli hostages, prompting widespread outrage and condemnation from world leaders, including French President Emmanuel Macron, who described Hamas' actions as embodying abject cruelty and unlimited inhumanity. He reiterated France's commitment to securing the immediate release of all hostages and securing a ceasefire, further emphasizing the need for Hamas' complete demilitarization and exclusion from any future governance in Gaza. The release of the video also sparked large-scale protests in Israel, with demonstrators in Tel Aviv demanding an end to the violence and the safe return of the hostages. Meanwhile, in the occupied West Bank, thousands participated in protests against the ongoing conflict and in solidarity with Palestinian prisoners held in Israeli jails. The situation in Syria further complicates the regional instability, with fresh clashes erupting in the country's south and north, straining a fragile ceasefire and challenging the interim government's authority. Reports indicate at least 4 deaths in renewed sectarian clashes in Sweda province. In a separate incident, the family of Israeli hostage Eviatar David accused Hamas of deliberately starving him, citing his emaciated condition in recently released video. In response to the crisis, the Israeli military agency Kogat stated that 4 tankers of UN fuel had entered Gaza to aid hospitals, bakeries, and other essential services. While Israel attributes the suffering in Gaza to Hamas, international pressure mounts for increased humanitarian access, with UN agencies asserting that airdrops are insufficient and demanding greater ground access to prevent widespread starvation. Adding another layer of complexity, the mayor of Athens, Haris Doukas, issued a sharp rebuke to Israel's ambassador to Greece, rejecting accusations of insufficient action against anti-Semitic graffiti, arguing that focusing on such issues is revolting during a time of unprecedented genocide in Gaza. Despite the grim realities unfolding, a massive pro-Palestine protest in Sydney, Australia, saw an estimated 100,000 people march across the Sydney Harbour Bridge, demanding a ceasefire and highlighting the global concern over the conflict's devastating consequences. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's office maintained that Israel's policy regarding the Temple Mount status quo remains unchanged, amidst ongoing international pressure and fervent calls for de-escalation. The escalating violence,